Hey guys, SoCal Val here. You are listening to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast.
Good evening and welcome everybody back to another Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. I am your host, Adam Cousins, and as you can see, I am joined by Miss Fiona Lochran. Fiona, how are you?
I am marvellous, thank you. How are you?
I'm okay. The chest is a bit better than it was. I've just come off an interview with the wonderful Steph Delander, and so it's all okay at the minute. But you've been camping, haven't you, or something? You've been in a tent.
I have been in a tent for 4 days up at the Belladrum Festival. I am still recovering. I had 2 shows with World Wrestling League, one on Thursday and one on Sunday, and then 2 with Premier British Wrestling on Friday and Saturday. Had the best time. Good fun, lots of shenanigans, loads of really good music in between. I am too old to camp.
Yeah,
I'm going to go on luxury next year. I'm going to get a camper van.
There you go. Get to step up. The next roll, was it the next roll up or this? Get a camper van. My mum and dad have loads of them in Cornwall. Camper vans. So
nice part of the world that.
It is. Now for scheduling reasons, last week we didn't record the NWA Powerr.
I'll take the blame for that.
I was going to make sure you was. Don't worry. I don't want them coming down on me. So we're going to do 2 in 1 today. So you're going to get last week's Powerr, this week's Powerr, and a hell of a lot, Fiona, has gone on.
So much, so much.
I was literally sending you pictures and stuff like that while you was away doing some bits last week, saying this is going on. Tyrus is coming on, and someone else is coming back, and we'll touch on it all. But there has been a lot going on. So let's rewind the clock back.
Back to last Tuesday.
To last Tuesday. Did Tyrus come on before it started last week?
I don't think so.
No,
I think that was afterwards.
Let's do the show review first, and then let's do the Tyrus announcement after.
That works for me.
Powerr last week kicked off with Carnage from Blunt Force Trauma with the delightful Aaron Stevens. He beat Jax Dane via count out. He hit Dane Jax with a loaded glove, and he was unable to get back in the ring. Now, that wasn't the full story here. The commentators, well, most notably your good friend, Mr. Storm, said something about Jax was being rocked. And
had never looked so weak, I think was the words that may have come out of our Timothy's mouth.
Yes.
And that didn't go down very well at all, to be honest with you. Really didn't go down well.
He stared a hole through Tim Storm, didn't he?
And it's ongoing, it seems, because if you fast forward to Monday night this week with the NWA podcast, Jax Dane was the guest on there, and was quite clear about how he did not respect him as a commentator. He respected him as a wrestler, but as a commentator, he's got no respect from whatsoever. He's not a happy man, and I'm sorry, but I wouldn't be messing with Jax. He's a tank.
He is a fridge, that's for sure. He's a big old boy, unit. So I wouldn't mess.
That's a very good word to describe him, I think.
Unit, I think, the best word. I don't know where they're going with this.
I have no idea.
I mean, surely they're not going to go at it at 75, are they?
I wouldn't have thought so, but anything's possible. You've seen what's happened this season so far, and we're only a couple episodes in.
Literally. The next match was Knox and Murdoch. Our good friend.
It was nice to see them back after their Crockett Cup victory. So that was good.
They picked up another one over Russ Jones and is it Shaft?
And that's terrible. Yeah.
But,
and that Murdoch got the pin for that one to take the victory for them. So that was good. And it was lovely to see them both in action again. I have high hopes for these boys, in all fairness.
I kept forgetting how, again, we talked about units, how big Mike Knox is as well.
He's huge.
I remember him. Yeah, I remembered him from WWE, but
Trevor's pretty tall as well, to be
Yeah.
fair.
Oh, Trevor's no slouch. He's
Yeah.
he's another guy that's big. But yeah, it seemed to be the show of the big men, wasn't it? This one,
It was
give
very
or
much
take.
so, very, very much so. Because the next match again was the same. It was Troop against Mims, another 2 units of men, basically.
Yes, the units of men, and that match actually ended in a stoppage because he was
It
passed out on
did,
the ankle
yeah.
lock, which is
Yeah, I thought Mims was going to tap, but he just didn't. He didn't give up on that one, so.
Instead, he went to sleep.
Yeah.
Which is they done a little interview after that though, didn't it? Because there was a tag match as well that was booked in, and there was obviously that was when they had an interview. Eric Jackson looks ahead to the tag match.
That's right.
With there was Fodder alongside Angelina Love interrupts, says he will destroy him when they face off. I mean, and that match is next week, which we'll cover off. Well,
so we'll get to that.
We'll get to that in a minute. Quite potentially a big shock of the night happened after, where Clearwater and Odison defeated.
Strange combination for me, that one. A really strange combination for me.
Strange combination, but they picked up the win against the United States Tag Champions of our country gentlemen.
Yeah, I did not see that one coming. I really didn't. We've seen Odinson in and out lately, but we haven't seen much of Jordan Clearwater for a little while now, to be honest with you. I don't know how that pairing came about. I'm pretty sure it wasn't a Crockett Cup thing. I can't remember that far back, but strange one for me. But it obviously worked. They obviously had something going on. I did not expect that result at all, and I can imagine that AJ Kazana and Anthony Andrews were not happy gentlemen after that.
No, not happy gentlemen, and probably not country gentlemen after after that. But it'd be interesting to see where that leads to. Generally, we said this the other week with the clowns, they will be getting their shot, but
they absolutely will,
and we'll add a bit more to that in a minute because
exactly.
they're not coming alone either. 75. Our good friend Danny Dills was up after that. He was basically giving us some information.
Thanks for my new shirt. Just while we're talking to Danny Dills, look, I got a new wrestling shirt, property of Team NWA from NWA Shop.
There you go.
There you go. Plug the merch. Always plug the merch.
Plug the merch. Plug the NWA merch. So there you go, Danny. See, you got another deal done by fee. She got another shirt to add to her collection of shirts, which she will soon need a new room for. Because
I think he's got half my wages, to be honest with you.
Quite possibly. Quite possibly. He did anyway. He hosted another deals and said that Mims on his way to the hospital. He bumps into Camille. He says Tyrus, he was out with injuries, but he'll be back for 75. Now, we're going to touch on that very, very shortly because, yes, he's back at 75, but there's a hell of a lot of implications on this now, which has come to light. Tom Latimer then made a cameo, and Camille says he will use his lucky 7 option to win the world title. So he's got to win 7 matches, right?
Yeah, that's correct. I don't know what he's on at the moment. I've kind of lost track of that just now, so I'm probably going to need to do a little bit of homework on that.
It must be close.
I love that gimmick for the belts, the lucky 7, that if you get your 7 matches, then you can cash in. I love that idea.
It's a unique one. It's one that, because I know like AEW do a lot. They used to do they used to be big on the ranking system in AEW.
Yeah.
So much anymore. They used to do it on top 5.
Yeah.
But that's it's a unique idea, and it's something a bit different that's not run of the mill.
No, absolutely.
And that works because it is something different and it is something unique to NWA. So they should definitely stick with it. I like the idea of a lucky 7 opportunity, and it's very, as I say, very unique. And I do like it. So then was May Valentine. She asked Dak Jaber for an update on Mills. Said he was a bad hamstring, but he's expected to make a recovery. He then brung up the NWA Heavyweight Championship and proves that he wants to vow and prove that he can hang with Chris Adonis next week, and we'll get to that.
We will indeed. We're almost there.
We are. The main event of last week's NWA was the cocky Kerry Morton against Matt Vine for the junior heavyweight championship. Obviously, Kerry Morton retained. But that was a really good match, actually, to finish off the episode of Power.
Matt Vine, he's another new one for me that I don't really know, and I think that's what I love about the NWA. They give people opportunities that we've not necessarily had the chance to find out about, or that we don't know. So I love the fact that they bring in, wherever they're recording, they'll bring in local people and local wrestlers and stuff. So yeah, I was pretty impressed with him though, but it was a guy. Obviously Kerry was going to win that one, wasn't he? But
of course he was. Who's going to stop him? Cody?
I don't know. That's the question. Somebody better do it soon, though. Please, somebody do it soon.
Maybe Carino might do it. Anyway, now that was NWA last week. Now that wasn't the end of the story. So then, I think it may have even been 11:05 the next night. They had a special episode or a podcast with Tyrus,
Joe,
Tyrus and Joe. And why don't you, Fiona, say what was going to happen? What has he done for 75?
Well, Tyrus, obviously, he's going to defend his belt, and basically Tyrus has asked for is it a bull rope match? It's a bull rope match, isn't it?
Yeah.
For his title shot. I love a gimmick match. It caught me off guard. It's not what I expected from him. And I'm still kind of trying to process it a little bit. But if EC3 goes for the title, then it's going to be a bull rope match. Again, it's one that I am not entirely sure of the rules about. It's something that I need to have a look at. But long story short, they're going to be tied to each other and knock 7 sacks of crap out of each other at 75.
They will. And the other part of that stipulation is, should Tyrus lose the NWA title, he's going to retire from wrestling.
I forgot all about that.
I had to add it.
I have mixed feelings about that. I do have mixed feelings about that. I don't. That would be unfortunate if he retired, I think.
Yeah.
But then if he does lose, he's made the stipulation, he's made the rules. Will he stick to them? That is the question. If he does lose the belt, will he stick to his own rules that he has to retire and leave? Who knows? I think Tyrus is his own man and does what Tyrus wants to do. And he may turn around and change his mind and say, no, I'm not leaving. So I don't know. I have no idea. I guess we're going to have to wait and see.
We will.
It's this month now. I can say this month.
Yes, it is. It literally is, isn't it? It is, what, 3 weeks?
4 weeks away. 4 weeks away. Yeah.
For 75. Wow, that's coming around quick. Well, I'd like to think Tyrus is a man of his word, and he would retire if he loses the match. Not that I want him to, but he's backed himself into a corner now. So
he really has. Yeah, he really, really has.
So it's going to be interesting to see whether he beats the Overman. And why is he the Overman? Because he's Overman. That is going to be at another. So as we move forward towards 75, I'm sure more stuff's going to come out about that.
Absolutely.
More intriguing. Now we're going to start talking about yesterday's show, which, funny enough, started with the Chris Adonis, Dak Draper, and Damage.
So that was like a triple threat exhibition, which I thought was a great start to the show.
Solid, wasn't it?
3 big men in the ring just going for it. And again, I've said this so many times, absolute banger. They've just gone straight in off the bat, straight off the bell, just go for it. But it tended to be quite heavy on Dak and Damage at the start. Adonis was kind of had a little bit of a back seat and didn't have to get too involved initially. I thought it was a really, really good triple threat.
Now, I'm sure Aaron Stevens didn't come out with Dak, did he?
He came out with Damage.
I missed the start, because I thought for 1 minute he was with Draper, because then it surprised me with the glove. I know he's Blunt Force Trauma's manager, but the show
started because I think what they've been doing is they've been doing less work with the desk at the start. So the
Yeah.
shows are starting with the action straight off the bat at the ring as soon as the show starts. So the 3 men were already in the ring with the ref ready to go and the bell to ring as it went on air last night. But yeah, Aaron was there. He was there with his
Loaded glove.
dodgy glove.
The question is do we bring Aaron Stevens on this show?
I would love to chat to that human being and find out where his head's at.
Maybe I'll see if I can pull a few strings and get him on before 75 so we can have
I think that could be a very interesting conversation. I know he's very keen for his boys to win those tag belts. So.
He is indeed. Anyway, he hit Drake with a loaded glove, and Adonis put him in the master lock to win the match.
Yeah, I mean, take advantage while you can. Not that I would have said Adonis needed to take advantage like that. He's a phenomenal wrestler. But if there's somebody in that situation, then you absolutely go full in and you just take the advantage and you get that win. And so he did.
He did. And he will now, well, what's next for him? Because he's not going to get the shot at Tyrus now.
No, I don't know, actually. It'll be interesting to see what they do with him.
Does he go for, because obviously EC3's dropped his title, hasn't he now? He doesn't got, no one's got that title yet.
So that's in the balance. So I'm guessing potentially that is something that will be up for grabs on one of the nights at 75. We'll just need to wait and see.
Which night it is and who's going to be in it and what they're going to do with it. Who knows? Now, the next match, I thought I was hallucinating. Well, I've not been well. I honestly thought I was hallucinating when I saw this. It was a submission match.
It was indeed.
Christ almighty.
And our old friend, Gags the Gimp, was back up against Judas, of all people, his old master, so to speak. Yes. Well, alongside the Sinister Minister.
Yeah.
That was something.
Yeah, I mean, geez, as I said, I thought I was hallucinating when I was watching it. The guy
Gags got thrown around that ring like a rag doll last night.
He was getting absolutely pummeled. He was getting dropped everywhere. And he just kept gyrating the hips, and he was just like, oh, whatever he was doing, well, whatever you call it. And in the end, I think Plunky come out and he got in. He got a bit of bother.
To try and help, and then
Sal the Powell in like with his leg.
I know, but I love the fact that his bandage matched his trunks. He was all matching. It was cute. And I like the little touches like that.
And yeah, I mean, so to carry on the story quickly, Garza Gimp was just getting power bomb, choke slam, everything incredible.
Crucifix bomb, the works.
Everything. Jeremiah Plunkett comes out, he gets choke slammed. Sal then has I think he threw a beach towel.
He did. He threw a towel and it couldn't get a white towel. I don't know where he got the beach towel from.
Danny Dills, maybe.
His case anywhere, but the towel was thrown in. Yeah.
And then Judas decides, well, I'm just going to choke him with a towel as well. Why not? You know,
that's Gags. I did feel a little bit sorry for him last night.
Oh my God, it was one of the most one-sided submission matches I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised, considering if you took the two, if you see the two, you would obviously think it would be Judas over. Anyway, but blimey, he took an absolute pummeling in that. Didn't
he did. I hope he's all right, Gags. I hope you're well. I'm sending you well wishes.
He's going to be a bit sore this morning.
Just a little bit.
They done an interview with the country gentleman, and they discussed their loss to obviously last week, and then they moved on to Alonzo and Psycho Boy Fodder, who Angelina loved, and they defeated Robert Anthony and Eric Jackson.
Again, slightly, obviously, we knew that Fodder and Jackson were going to be in the match.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting combination of tag teams for me again. I like Eric Jackson. I saw him at the tapings when I've been out there. I think he's a really, really great little wrestler. He's definitely coming on in leaps and bounds. He's probably been around longer than I think he has, so I'd quite like to see some more of him in the NWA moving forward. To see Robert Anthony with him was interesting.
Yeah.
Size-wise, Eric Jackson's not particularly tall. He's solid, but he's not a particularly tall person. But Robert Anthony's is rather on the large side. And then I think the Alonso and Fodder combination works really well together. One's arrogant and one's just scary. So it works for me, the two of them. I think they're quite a formidable tag team, to be fair.
And Angelina Love, interestingly, was out there, even though she had a match a bit later on in the show.
She's got to show respect for her boy.
She does. She does. We had another deals section at this point.
We did.
And Danny announced two things. The first one was that Mims was clear and he'll be in action next week, which is good to know.
Yep.
Second one was that Kenzie Page has asked the office for a title shot against Camille, I'm assuming, because she's a television champion, isn't she, Kenzie?
Yeah, well, we'll get to that as well, though, because there's something that came out online this afternoon that we can come back to, which might tie into that if you saw it. Yeah.
Indeed, we will touch into that after we finished, for sure. They had an interview with Lara Bellion and Vampiro. Looking forward to their match with the Brothers of Funstruction, Yarbo and Ruffo the Clown. We're still not going to get you to the bit yet when we mentioned before that they're not coming alone to 75.
They are not coming alone.
But before we do that we had a great women's television championship.
Oh, superb. Absolutely superb.
It was.
I'll say it again. I've said it before. I'll say it till blue in the face. I love the women's division in NWA. Such a wealth of talent. So good.
It was a time limit draw between Angelina Love and Kenzie Page.
Yep.
So Kenzie Page.
And that was for the TV championship, the women's TV championship. Yeah.
What an encounter that is.
Phenomenal.
Outstanding. One of the best matches you'll see this year in women's division wrestling. Go and check it out if you haven't seen it already. Incredible match. Loved it. Now we can get to another interest. So the NWA tweeted something maybe back end of last week, and it kind of got the internet talking that maybe they're bringing somebody in for 75, and it wasn't the person that initially.
Particularly half of the UK wrestling fans thought it was.
Yes, so particularly half of the UK thought it was someone who's probably blacklisted in a lot of areas of the UK or for in wrestling, which was Marty Scurll. But it wasn't him. It wasn't Marty Scurll. No. Now, you got to remember, these two guys are clowns. So are they really going to bring him in for two clowns? What you got to remember is there was a rap group, and they were transitioned into wrestlers called the Insane Clown Posse. And I think there's one of them obviously that's still alive, which is Violent J, will be coming to 75 with his good old the Brothers of Funstruction. So now we're going to see an Insane Clown Posse member at NWA 75.
It's got to be wild. Absolutely wild. I have so many high expectations for this match. I like Lara Bellion are my boys. I love them so much. But this match is probably one of the ones that I'm really looking forward to. And I know I said I was like the clowns initially. I'm warming to them. I'm absolutely warming to them. And they've obviously had two wins over Lara Bellion now.
Yes.
Is it two?
Yeah, one in the Crockett Cup and one after them on Powerr, the first episode of the new season, wasn't it?
So yeah, they've had two wins over Lara Bellion. So this is going to be a tasty, tasty match, as far as I'm concerned anyway.
Yes.
And then to have Jay and Vampiro ringside as well, it's going to be crazy.
It's like adding petrol to fire, isn't it?
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of shenanigans for this one.
Just a few. We move on. There was an interview with Pretty Empowered. So they're getting their last shot at the Women's Tag Championship next week.
Yeah, that'll be good.
High pressure, high stakes next week for Pretty Empowered. They need to get the job done.
Absolutely. We'll see what happens with that. M95 are good champions, though. They're hard to beat, or I really can't see past them just now, but time will tell.
They moved on to an interview quickly with Carl Davis, Koa, Laxman, basically saying about how Kerry Morton cost him his match against Ricky, calls out Kerry, challenges him.
And Kerry doesn't appear. Out comes Ricky alongside Alex Taylor.
Yes, and Ricky basically says Koa doesn't want that smoke. He doesn't want the Morton fever. And the legend is he has an opponent for Koa. but it was Thrillbilly Silas Mason.
Who pretty much came in and destroyed poor Koa. Let's be honest. It was another ragdoll match.
It
really.
was a big time ragdoll match. Didn't add in no Polo. Well,
yeah, no Pollo. Koa had Khalees with them.
Yes.
Who I popped for at the end of the
match.
Yes,
Ricky Morton at the end of the match decided he was going to go in for a kiss on Khalees.
He deserved that slap.
And there you go. He got slapped right around the face to end the Powerr episode this week. I mean, it's been another solid episode. I mean, we've had 3.
Oh, completely.
And they've added so many more bits now. When they were doing, as I said, with Tyrus, they made that the next night. And then they followed it out with the Violent J thing. And now you mentioned that they've tweeted something out about the championship, women's.
Yeah, so they're having a tournament on night 1 for the Burke. And basically they're having a Burke Invitational. I don't know how many competitors they are, but I know that the first one that they've announced is Alison Kay, which I am super excited about. I love her. She was one half former women's tag team championship alongside Marty Bell. So I am so excited to see her back in the NWA. I've missed her. We don't know who else is getting involved in that, but there is going to be a tournament on night 1, and whoever wins the tournament gets a shot at the Burke and the World's Women's Championship on night 2.
And that will be potentially be Camille, depending on if she.
It could be Camille, it could be Markova, who knows?
Yes, it could well be. And that is, well, again, they're just making this 2-night show even better every week.
Yep.
And Powerr honestly has been great every week.
This season of Powerr, in terms of matches and stories and what's going on, has been right up there for me. Right up there. There's so much going on. Every episode has been jam-packed. You're looking at 5 matches most nights now. Yep. And to fit that into an hour, you can, it's incredible. So I am loving what they are doing with this season, and I really hope it keeps up the momentum.
Me too. I can't wait for next week. Fiona can't wait for next week. We have wrapped up 2 episodes of Powerr this week and some other bits and pieces. But Fiona, have you got anything coming up this weekend, or have you got a weekend off?
This weekend. No, I don't have weekends off. What are they?
What are they?
Saturday night in Felson's Pool Hall in Glasgow, I will be hosting the Hooked on Wrestling SummerSlam watch party. The tickets, bargain price tickets, £8 from Ticket Tailor. The doors open at 9, and we're open right the way through until the end of the pay-per-view. We've got our usual Hooked on Wrestling quiz, our raffle with some phenomenal prizes and stuff. So yeah, that's Saturday night. So I'm looking forward to that. It's always a good time at the watch parties.
I've never been to a watch party. Never have done.
You need to sort that out. Honestly, it's so much fun to be in a room full of people who are all there for the same reason and all wrestling fans. It's a lot of fun, an awful lot of fun.
I will have to try and get to one. It is a difficult one because I've got, if I have my son, or if my boy stays, then I can't get out. But if he's not staying, then I could probably get to the London. They do a London show, don't they?
Yeah, there's always shows in London. I know that there's a lot coming up for the AEW weekend as well. We've got loads of events on in London for the weekend for that at the end of the month.
See, I don't have any events going on this week, but I am attending Revolution Pro. Revolution Pro Wrestling. Get me words out, Adam. Get me words out, Adam. Bloody hell. Revolution Pro on Sunday. Rachel's been bugging me to get tickets, and
you'll love it.
And then today I just texted her, "Can you get tickets then?" And we're going to go and see that. We can't wait for that. We're really looking forward to going to see Rev Pro. We like a lot of the guys there. They always put on a sensational show. So we'll be going to 229 Great Portland Street on Sunday to see.
Great venue. It's one of our Inside the Ropes venues. A brilliant venue.
There you go. So it's a nice intimate one. Is it one of the intimate ones that you guys do?
It's a fairly decent size.
I've never been, so it'd be my first show at 229. So I'm looking forward to that. But guys, this has been the NWA Powerr review. I have been Adam Cousin. She has been the lovely, remarkable Fiona Lockwood. And until next time, everybody, buckle down, stay safe. Goodbye.